Dallas Cowboys right now currently they're 11th in rushing. Javonte Williams has really altered things, but also the mindset coming into the season. Hey, we're not just going to throw the football around. We're going to establish the run. We want to push people around, investing into that offensive line. That was their first-round draft pick this year in the 2025 NFL Draft. The run game is making things drastically different, in my opinion, for the Dallas Cowboys. Because Dak Prescott, from my eyes, he's going to play lights out football. But now you add another dimension to that offense, and the offense of the Dallas Cowboys are scarier.
Yeah, I think it's George Pickens, because when you're trying to build a team, it's hard to get two corners that are physical enough to match up with CeeDee Lamb. And now on the other side, George Pickens, who has 13 career touchdowns. Look at that catching radius. Well, that was CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
But in the red zone, again, he has been he's already scored a touchdown, but he's created a lot of good matchups for Jake Ferguson as well. So when we talk about Dak playing well, like this play right here, they couldn't do that a year ago. That's why I think Pickens, more than Williams, has been so impactful.
Fascinating game. This isn't. We've seen the stat all week long that the two players who've been the NFC Offensive Player of the Week have both played against the Bears. So does that mean that Dak Prescott's going to do that as well? There's another interesting storyline in this game. We've had a lot of revenge games, and here comes another.
Yeah, last week it was all about Ben Johnson going back into Detroit. How about Matt Eberflus going into Chicago? Eberflus so unceremoniously fired, and really a punchline in Chicago this whole offseason, and how much better Caleb's going to be now that he's finally got a real coaching staff. Eberflus has been the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys in 2 weeks, and they've been lit up in 2 games. I could see Matt Eberflus having a different kind of approach to this game, going up against his former team, and the owners in the front office that blamed him for last year's ineptitude and firing him. I will note this, in his presser, Brian Schottenheimer said there's nothing he would love more than to win that game and to give the game ball to Flus after the game. Not Dak, let's give it to the defensive coordinator who's going to have something ready for Caleb Williams.
That's motivation.
We won for the Flus.
Yeah, we always have that type of protection. Like when you go there, whether it be the Harry Bowl or the TB Bowl or the Rex Bowl, we always had that. That's just an extra juice. That's the mind tricks that head coaches do. Don't fall for that.
But they want to look. You're going to make a bold prediction later this morning about this game. And we're going to get a prediction on the total in a minute here. Without giving away the whole thing, are you expecting fireworks?
Historic fireworks. And neither side, are the old Rick Ryan Greeny, are the punters even going to be active? Like, this is just 4-down football up and down the field. You know, the big X factor to me is Caleb Williams and what he does. And, you know, we have a tape to show here.
What are you seeing? What have you seen in Caleb?
When he holds the ball, Greeny, he really struggles. This is an unbelievable statistic. Since he's been in the NFL, this is from Hembo. They are 1-7 when he holds the ball for 3 seconds or longer. Now look, here's a play against Detroit. Not there, throw it away, run. He's holding the ball, and he makes really bad decisions later in the down. This ball should have been picked off. You can't hold the ball against NFL defenders for 8 seconds. Here's another play. Again, 1-7 when he averages 3 seconds or longer. Play's not there, Greedy. His fundamentals break down, and he makes terrible decisions. This is an interception. If you want to be a great quarterback in the NFL, you cannot do that.
This is a work in progress, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's 2 weeks in, Caleb Williams in this offense with Ben Johnson. Are you encouraged by what you've seen from it so far?
So far, yes. Like, he's going to have bumps in the road, and for everyone who's saying
that's a boulder.
But here's the thing, Mike T. You're talking about a guy who's had 3 play callers in 2 years, 2 head coaches. Strip everything that you've learned about the game of football from the quarterback position before getting with Ben Johnson. So you're going to have those moments. When you try to get an alcoholic to stop drinking, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking for a little more motivation for the Bears right now, we're just putting it up on the screen. We all like the Cowboys in this game. We'll see what winds up happening. Meanwhile, we'll do an entire more or less based on this game as well. Get me Mr. Fortenbaugh back here. It's brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Let's start with Dak Prescott's total, 264.5 passing yards. Joey going more or less?
More. Prescott's been in the league since 2016. His career passing average is about 258 yards per game. So we're really not asking him to do a lot more here. Look at the banged up nature of the Chicago defense. Look at how they've been shredded throughout. Chicago will keep it competitive, which means Dallas will throw for 4 quarters, which means we'll go over the total here.
Okay, and then how about on the other side then? If the Bears are going to keep it competitive, is Caleb Williams going to throw for more than 1.5 passing touchdowns?
This is also a more. The analysis lies in a different quarterback, Russell Wilson, who's been in the league since 2012 and played 218 career games. Last week's game against this Dallas defense was the best passing game of his entire career. That concludes my analysis.
Okay, fair enough. And then finally, Mike T just touched on it. The total in this one is huge. 50 Which way do we go?
More, but it feels so easy. It's starting to worry me. I do think Chicago will be able to run the ball early in this game, and if they do, they can grind the clock and keep Dallas off the field, which might give us a better opportunity to bet in-game and go over. But the reality is I still think we soar over the total, so more.
All right, if you agree with Joe's picks, we've made them into a parlay for Cowboys-Bears. You can parlay them and find them on ESPN Bet Sportsbook app. Look for the more or less featured parlay on the homepage and in the parlay lounge.
So much for the Eberflus review.
Our dog to the Dan dog. Graziano joining us for some Week 3 injury updates. Graz, let's start with the 49ers and Brock Purdy, who did miss last week in a win against the Saints with that toe injury. What's the latest on his status for Sunday against Arizona?
Gary, Brock Purdy has been able to practice on a limited basis the last 2 days for the 49ers, which is something he did not do at all last week. He spoke yesterday and indicated that he's feeling a lot better. He actually said it could come down to how I'm feeling on game day. So if he's out there at practice again today and doing work, then this could be the kind of thing where it's a game time decision whether he feels good enough to go or whether it is a second straight week for the 49ers with Mac Jones, who played well enough last week that they're not too worried about holding Brock Purdy out another week if they have to.
Big early September game. 49ers undefeated 2-0, taking on the Cardinals undefeated 2-0. Going to be a good one. Meanwhile, Jayden Daniels dealing with a sprained left knee. What are you hearing about his status for Sunday against the Raiders?
I think this one's more in question, Gary. He has not been able to practice this week. And remember, their game last week was Thursday night. So there's even been extra time for him to get healthy. He wants to play. He wants to practice today. We'll see if they let him. If he doesn't practice today, then I think you can be pretty sure it'll be Marcus Mariota for the Commanders on Sunday. It feels like it's trending that way, even though Jayden Daniels wants to play, doesn't want to miss the game. The Commanders want to be extremely careful with him moving forward. Even if he can get out there and throw, they want to make sure he can move around, protect himself, all those things. So today will be a very important day, I think, for determining whether Jayden Daniels can play this week.
And the Raiders coming off that loss last week against the Chargers, going into the nation's capital, looking to get a little bit of revenge. Dan Graziano joining us with the latest this morning on SportsCenter.